Welcome to the Heartwork Podcast, where we delve into stories, struggles, and triumphs of entrepreneurship, leadership, and personal growth. I'm Dr. Sarah.
And I'm Dr. Marisa. We're here to guide practitioners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and those just navigating the complexities of life on a journey of discovery that explores the dance between passion and strategy, heart and hustle.
With candid conversations, insightful interviews, and plenty of laughs, get ready to uncover how leading with heart can transform your business and life. Let's dive in.
Welcome back to another episode of the Heartwork Podcast. Today, we're just in our feels because I was scrolling through the camera roll, and I came across an old video of me and my husband with one of our best friend's kiddos. And she was like hugging us and she didn't want to let us go. And she's like, I want to come home with you. And I was like, you want to come home with us, me and Forrest, our dog? And she's like, yeah, I don't want you to leave, because they live out in Ohio and we're here. And I got sometimes you see a memory, you watch something, you hear something, you smell something, you get transported back to another place. And I remember a time where I was also seeing photos of that and photos of my husband with our dog before, and talking about Forrest, and remembered a time where I used to get really jealous of our dog because my husband loves to love on our dog. Now, my husband also loves to love on me. He loves on me so intentionally, so beautifully. And yet I would always be like, well, why isn't it 100%? If you've got extra love for the dog, give me extra. Give me, why isn't it me? And so I remember having that be a little part of myself, and then also feeling a lot of shame for feeling that way, because our dog deserves love too. And I also love our dog. And why wouldn't I want my husband to cuddle? Well, what I actually want him to do, ignore the dog or not love the dog?
Mhm.
Absolutely not. But it was just this thing that I noticed would creep up within myself. And I remember then seeing that particular video a while back, and something just clicked for me in the sense of the way your husband is showing how much and how fiercely he also loves your guys' dog is the way that your husband is also going to so fiercely love your kids. How amazing would it be for you to come home and your kid isn't in their room just playing by themselves, but is snuggled up with your husband on the couch? How amazing would it be if your kid is trying to climb all over your husband, and instead of your husband saying, stop, 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 I'm trying to read, or stop, 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 I'm watching a show, or stop, 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 I'm with your mom, he just lets him wrap himself all the way around him. So for me, it was just a moment, a perspective shift that happened, not because I forced it, not because I tried it to, but at a time where something else just locked together and was actually a beautiful representation of appreciation for a representation of how this man's caliber of character is going to continue to literally infuse the continuation of our lives. We do want a family. So choosing a husband for me wasn't just choosing a partner. It's literally choosing a role model, choosing a human being to hold space for children, and hold space for me with children. And if someone can love someone so unconditionally that doesn't even ask anything of them other than their presence, how amazing is it going to be to watch the days where I get to see that in my partner as a father? Um, and so it just got me thinking too about reasons why we fall in love with other humans in the first place, and then make a choice to continue to live life with these human beings. And when we continue along that path and life continues to unfold for us, and whether we work for someone else or whether we start or have our own businesses, whether we continue to grow and evolve and change and have new perspectives, have new opinions, have varying, understandings of us, ourselves, our world, our relationship, we can hear a lot of times in relationships where communication decreases, and what things you may have been initially attracted to that human for can actually become things that you find really annoying, or that you find not in alignment, or maybe you see other relationships and you get into a comparison of well, that person's partner is, you know, XYZ, like a really crazy business person, and they're flying all over the country and they have XYZ materials and in this big old house and all this money and designer this and designer that. But you may not know that behind the doors, they never get to spend time together, or their relationship is over the phone. And the spouse that you have that's able to work a different job and be more present in your life, while you may wish that that person was more in business or more in finance or more able to quote unquote provide a life that looks materialistically abundant, you would potentially have, there's a yin and yang, there's a black and white, there's a potential opposite of that. And you may not have all the quality time that you would want. And I'm not saying that you can't have everything that you want in your life and design a life that gives you the fullness of everything you're looking for. But sometimes our perspective of things and our human capacity for comparison can actually take away from being fully present in the moment and fully present with the person, the human being that you have, that you are, and what are the true qualities that are actually important and that actually make you feel whole in partnership.
Our coach, Pablo, actually had said this one point to me that in relationship, if you get 70% from your person and never get 100%, you're doing pretty damn great. Like you're never like when you think about another human being, like they're never going to be able to give you a full 100% of themselves, and or that you can expect them to give you facets of things that you probably desire and want, because it's just humanly impossible. And for one, they're not God at the same time. And I used to always think like, oh my God, like I need to have like 100% of their love, like at the end of the day, like, sure. Like, are there areas that I'm going to get some facets of my husband in ways that I would have never, like, that I don't think he would have thought that he could give me? Absolutely. But is it going to be at the caliber of in every single moment of our life? There's always going to be seasons of time that each human being is going to be navigating their own stuff along with an in partnership. And in partnership and as a team, it's like you can never like operate from a space of like, I need absolutely 100% from every single facet of my life. You will be left very disappointed and very disheartened because you are expecting something that is just humanly impossible. So I had to understand that. That was something that I'm like, literally from the get-go, I'm like, well, no, I'm going to give 100%. They're going to give 100%. Mm-mm. Just like at the end of the day, it's like that just crashed and burned my expectations at that point. So I think one of the things that at least I'll add to this otherwise is that I think so many times people think that you almost like, I feel like I did this. And for my story with my spouse is I had an expectation, like I was just saying, I had this expectation that he was going to fulfill all these things in my life. And in turn, then I would then be satisfied and happy as the wife. And I wanted him to do all these things, but then what if they are not met? And my beautiful husband, we've been married now for 7 years, which is also crazy to think about that. It's
Mm.
kind of crazy. It has not been the easiest seasons of time. There's been a lot of difficulty and there's been a lot of beauty. There's been a lot of miracles. There's been a lot of grief. And I think if anybody, obviously in marriage, knows this, it's like marriage is work and marriage is a commitment and a choice each and every single day. And one of the things that we've really embraced recently is like, for one, open conversation and communication. But I had to get to this point where I had to trust and open my hand. I literally asked this question this year of like, what if I almost like let go? And I was asking, like, I almost became this. So I'm going to say this and it's going to feel so weird, but I literally got to this point where I was like, I feel so disengaged from you as a human being and you as my spouse. But for me, it was more of this place where I like was letting go of him in the role he was playing in my life, because I had all of these configurations that he needed to play and lead and operate and partner and all this type of stuff. And it had led to this place of so much resentment, not only for myself, but also for him. And it gave a place to where his voice was completely shut down. And in turn, like I was even more like on top of him. Like it was just this like crazy back and forth. And I finally had to like understand. It's like I literally felt so disengaged and I'm like, what is happening and why do I feel this? But God literally opened it up to where it's like, it's because I'm actually inviting you to let go of what these expectations look like. This literally all took me 6 years to get to this point also within a marriage. So So just the beautiful journey of that, right? There's been lots of things along the way. And since that point where it's like you actually get to just like trust that somebody's going to go on their own journey when you're in partnership together, it's like I want my own journey and they can go on theirs at the same time. And I like to what you said, like I chose this human. There are so many facets of him that absolutely light me up, allow me to feel safe, allow me to feel protected, that allow me to be able to be somebody that I could absolutely thrive in. If I married myself, y'all, that'd be so cray cray. Even though for a long time, that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted a version of myself, but we would make two fucking bulls in a motherfucking china shop, and that probably would have never lasted because I'm a very like driver of a human being. Like all of yeah, it's just a very I'm a very high strung, but also like I'm a little bit of a bougie human being too. It's like there's facets of myself that just like needed another human to be able to actually come alongside that and partner with me there. And so, anyway, if you're just also in the like thick of it, just also know it's like you can, the opportunity is to trust and it's okay to also set beautiful boundaries at the same time. There can be boundaries within your own self and your own relationship and then, but you got to trust that the boundaries are going to do the work and stop micromanaging how those boundaries are going to evolve at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I think I think you made 2 really beautiful points I wanna touch on because the first one of, like, your spouse cannot be 100% of everything 100% of the time, and it's
Mhm.
true, and this is where I think some partners will get mixed up was because they want to lean on being able to experience everything, do everything, love everything, same likes, same interests, etcetera, with their spouse, and it's like, if let's just take, for example, me. I really love art, I really love music, I would love to go to ballet, I would love to go to an orchestra, like, I would love that, and, not saying Alex wouldn't love that, but that's not gonna be his first choice, and that doesn't mean that he can't come along with me to one event or a couple events and, like, experience it and decide whether or not it's a thing that he does find curiosity or interest in, but if he also has no interest in it, if I just continue to hold and pester and nag and be like, well, this is interest to me. Why won't you have interest in it? Because shouldn't you have interest in me? Like, you're my spouse. You're supposed to care about the things that I care about and the things that I like. I'm just going to continue to have a block. I'm not going to express or experience the things that I love and enjoy and that also make me a whole human being. And, or are there other people in my life that would really enjoy those things that I can go enjoy with them? For example, my mother. She would love to be invited out here to Iowa and go with me to a ballet or go with me to see a show. So why couldn't I schedule that? I also have other friends that also love art and taste in music. Could I not go enjoy that with them? And please do not hear me in saying that like if your spouse doesn't enjoy doing things with you, then just disengage from your spouse and go do them with other people. That's not what I'm fully saying. I'm expressing that if there is a moment or if there are certain things that make you feel like a whole human as an individual, go travel and do those things. Go explore those opportunities because the more whole of a human being you are, then the more whole you get to show up in your relationship versus looking for your spouse to fill these potential holes in you that you could actually fill yourself. Like you are
Oh,
two individual human beings that get to come together in partnership, that get to come together in community and contribute to a life bigger than just the singular part of you. But that doesn't mean that you are two halves of a whole and need to fit every single puzzle piece together. I think that's like my one invitation is like, I'll hear a lot of partners be stressed out because like one partner doesn't want to do XYZ. And it's like, okay, can you go do that by yourself? Or do you have someone else in your life that also enjoys that that you could do that with? You know, your partner doesn't have to fill every single piece of yourself that also has the opportunity for you to fill within yourself. If you like to paint, pick up a canvas, be in your house and paint. Like your partner doesn't have to do that with you for you to also enjoy the loves and the passions and the hobbies that you have. And then the other part is letting people's journey be their journeys. So, like, for me, I really like, I love leading. I love working with other people. I like being a part of a team. It's something I enjoy talking about as well and processing because I'm in relation with a lot of other people. I'm a business owner. My husband works for a company and he works alongside of people. And I had always kind of had this little like inner piece of like, I wish he could actually fully understand what it is that I have to navigate in the day to day and like the mental load that that can be on my brain, on my heart. And then to his point, he would sometimes come home and be like, I wish you could actually understand like the physicality of the labor that I do day in and day out. In a laborious job, and understand why I do need to just like decompress, take our dog for a walk, cook dinner, and enjoy a quiet, peaceful night when I come home after my mental load of people all day and just continue to like work on the things I didn't get to do because I was in commune with other people and serving them. And it would be like a little point of tension of just like disconnect in our relationship of like, I wish that you actually understood what it was like to work a job and never leave it, right? That's also part of my own shit. And the comparison game is not great. When you're in a relationship and in a marriage with each other, comparing stuff like that of like, well, I do this, well, you do that, well, you deserve this, or I deserve that, or you don't deserve that because you don't understand this is a very dangerous game to play. But you have to release a little bit of control through that and control of trying to narrate and direct what their own perspective is. And interestingly enough, like life just evolves and he has come into a position and roles where actually he's now in charge of manpower and of staffing different jobs and experiences. And he has gone down a journey of like doing some of his own, work and just understanding himself more. And we get to have conversations about some of that stuff now. And I've also released the understanding of like, especially through injury, like you don't always get to have your body respond physically the way that you want to in certain parts of your life. And it's really, really challenging when you're asking more of not only your mind, but also of your body. In a place of employment, in a place of work, and a place of just presence in your life. And so I always encourage couples to, one, anchor back to why they fell in love with that person in the first place, and, like, what qualities and things did you initially made you so excited and that you loved and cherished, like, so deeply about that person. And also, 2, release the need to control what journey that they're gonna have for themselves, and also do not discredit the opportunity that God and life are going to present to your partner, to you, and to your partnership and marriage, where you guys will be able to carry each other in different seasons, or something that you might think is so frustrating now will actually be the most beautiful blessing in the future. If my husband was someone who owned their own business, we may not have the beautiful rhythm of I get to be present at work and work. And if I do need to work late or if I do need to do more work when I get home, the house is cared for, our dog is cared for, meals are prepped and made. Like there are things that are off of my plate because of the capacity that my husband has. And there may be a time where my husband will need to be more present with those things. And will I be able to step in and carry that load for us? So, like, sometimes it's so easy to get bogged down in the current season of life that you're in and like think or wish that it looked or was different. You don't realize sometimes like what that season is preparing for you, but also what that season can be teaching and showing you in gratitude.
The last thing I will add, because as you said, fall back in love with the person that you married, that to me honestly didn't feel super relevant. It's funny that when I was like sitting with that. So like in the side of like, yes, there's so many beautiful things that I fell in love with my husband. But as we evolve as human beings, we see things differently, we operate differently. And I think I would also invite people to say, like, what can you fall in love with currently now? And
Yeah.
what can you really like come to see that you love in that human being even currently? Because you and they may have very much evolved as a human being. And there may be things that you like, but also maybe don't like. But that's the opportunity that you get to see like, okay, well, what is it that I potentially wanna change and also release control of?
Yeah.
'Cause I actually really adore a lot more things in my husband now than when I actually married him. So,
Hmm.
that's the beautiful reason I say that. I actually love and appreciate and see him for who he is way more now in our marriage than when we actually married him, because I married him under a guise of more wounding than I have now. And
Uh,
so, what a beautiful gift to have both, to be able to see both the appreciation for where you came from and also appreciation of where you are now.
I love that. And also, again, this is why doing your own work, doing the heart work, can actually allow for those things to be even more intentional, more fruitful, more purposeful. Because, like you said, you had a wounding that you had a connection anchoring with. And now, as that wounding was uplifted, you've actually been able to find deeper connection with your husband, the person that he is, the person that you are, and how you guys both show up. Also, too, when you have two people that are growing, my encouragement too to people is like, you don't always have to grow at the same speed, at the same rate, and in the same areas to continue to grow together as a couple. Oftentimes we want to like find our paths constantly matched up and go through the same stuff at the same time because of what does feel relevant in that moment. But it doesn't have to look exactly the same to still be purposeful and to still be intentional together.
So thank you for joining us on another episode of the Heartwork Podcast. We hope today's conversation has inspired you to lead with heart in your business and life.
If you enjoyed this, subscribe so you never miss a release, rate our show, leave us a review, get on our VIP email list, and join our exclusive Facebook group, The Heartwork Life, to plug into our community and learn from us and other heart-led entrepreneurs on a weekly basis.
We look forward to chatting with you next time.
Bye!